Hi, my name is Edmund Ainscough. I'm the Managing Director of Lunnon Metals Limited.
Hi, my name's Aaron Wehrle. I'm the Exploration and Geology Manager with Lunnon Metals.
Hi, my name's Nicole Jeanneret. I'm the Corporate Manager and Company Secretary of Lunnon Metals.
So I'm a geologist by background. I first went out to Kambalda in 1987, believe it or not. I was there for a year until I got kicked out because my visa ran out, and went off to Africa, back to England, and then New Zealand. I came back in 94, and I've pretty well been there ever since, on and off. Rose through the ranks to become Chief Geologist in 1998 and oversaw the transition from WMC ownership in 2001 through to Goldfields, who bought the asset, and then heavily invested in exploration, trying to turn it into the fantastic asset it is today.
I've been with the company just short of 10 years now, both in its current public form and also when it was private as ACH Nickel. Before that, I spent 18 years with Goldfields Limited and Western Mining Corporation. I was lucky enough to start my career at St Ives Gold Mines in Kambalda, ironically where Lunnon Metals is now focused. I also spent a number of years around the world with Goldfields. I was very lucky in that regard, working in China, Philippines and Canada. But I think the best place to work is right here in West Australia.
I've got a Bachelor of Commerce in Corporate Finance and Marketing from UWA. I've got industry experience from many years ago. I worked for Panoramic Resources. I was the third employee and worked on their IPO. And now I'm enjoying my time at Lunnon Metals.
Yeah, so from 94 onwards, all my time pretty well was in the underground mines. I worked at a mine called Britannia. Then I got promoted. I was in charge of the famous Victory underground mine, which included assets like Leviathan and Conqueror. And Conqueror's pertinent because it's right next door to our project and some of the discoveries we're making on our own ground now at Foster Baker. And as I say, got promoted to Chief Geologist, moved down to Perth in 2003, moved into business development. Probably my most famous transaction, well, no one knows I did it, was I created the Beta Hunt sublease, the 3D lease that now sits inside Westgold. They had some fantastic transaction buying Karora for over $1 billion. That three-dimensional sublease is something I created over a bottle of wine, lying in bed, annoying the wife with the light on till late in the morning, actually trying to create that three-dimensional license. But that's a whole different story. Well, I've known Aaron since 1996. I picked him up from Kalgoorlie Airport as a graduate, so he's been together for the best part of 25 years now. For his sins, he's probably sick of the sight of me. Quick funny story about Aaron. Back in the day with fax machines, there was a piece of fax paper left on my desk. As a senior geologist at Victory, and he said, pick this guy up. It was from the underground manager. Pick this guy up tomorrow at Kalgoorlie Airport. And it had his academic transcript from the university in Queensland. And Aaron's extremely smart. It was like 99.9 something average. And at the bottom, the manager had written, this bloke is twice as smart as the rest of your department put together. And then underneath that, he wrote 2 times 0 still equals 0. And I've always, to this day, Aaron has been extremely smart, but that fax has always stuck in my mind as the moment I first met Aaron Wehrle. Look, Nicole's been a fantastic asset for the company. We had a sister company back when we were private, and we were being funded by 3 high net worth individuals here in Perth. We had 2 sister companies. One became Medallion Metals, now headed up by Paul Bennett, Managing Director, and the other one became Lunnon Metals. And Paul and Nicole go way back. They worked together at Salling in the early 2000s, again in nickel. And he'd offered her a job. It didn't quite work out. He put her contact details onto me. We needed someone before we listed. And to her credit, she upped, brought the children over, left her husband over in Sydney to tie up the loose ends. She came out on spec before the IPO had been guaranteed, before we'd even got approval to list. And she took a massive punt on us. So I'm forever grateful because she really is the glue. She's one of the most positive people that I've come across. Aaron Wehrle is one of the smartest people I've ever met. We're both geologists. He's so meticulous. He's so conservative. He's so cautious. Everything he does is absolutely top drawer. He lets me be me. So we both know the ground really well, but I can get on and market the company. I can speak to shareholders. I can present at conferences, knowing Aaron's got the whole technical side of what we're doing completely sorted out. That's fantastic. He was smarter than I'd be in 1,000 lifetimes. Nicole, enthusiasm. Absolutely bundles and bundles of enthusiasm. Super proficient at everything she does. She puts her shoulder to the wheel with everything she does, gives it her everything. And that boundless energy. When you're a small team and things can be tough, it's been tough this year with the nickel sentiment at the start of the year, and we've kind of got ourselves off the canvas with our gold results. And a big part of that is Nicole keeping the whole office really upbeat and cheerful. I hate to think. I think Aaron will probably, the thing that most frustrates Aaron about me is I do like to get ahead of things when we're doing an ASX announcement. I like to get it written. I then tell everyone I'm not going to touch it until he's put the results in. And of course I go and touch it 3 or 4 times. So I think that might frustrate him a little bit. He wishes I would just leave it alone until everything's in.
He sets a pretty high standard, so it can be difficult keeping up with that standard sometimes.
Nicole, I have no doubt, will use the word handbag. One of the ways I frustrate Nicole is when we're going on the road, when we're going to conferences or to an normal appointment, I like to get there early, but sometimes like super early. So she has this mental image of me sitting there with my handbag at the airport 3 hours before the plane's due to take off, and I know that kind of makes her smile, but it also probably pretty irritates her as well.
He often sits with what you can imagine a handbag on his lap because he's desperate to leave or arrive before he needs to.
So people might not know, I used to run marathons. I've run 11 marathons in my time, 8 in events and 3 in training for those events, and my best time was 3 hours 28. And famously in 2016 when I ran that at the Perth Marathon, in the 50 to 60 age group, I came 8th, and a certain Steve Mullighetti came 10th in 3 hours 30. So I beat Steve Mullighetti, the famous Australian Commonwealth Games marathon runner, and not many people can say that. People might not know this. I've got 4 children. Each one was born in a different country. Each one was born in a different commodity. So one was born in Zambia in a copper district. One was born in Cornwall in England in the tin mines I was working at then. One was born on the west coast of New Zealand when I was exploring for gold. And the last one was born in Kambalda, obviously one of the world's most famous nickel towns. And before you ask, yeah, they were all to the same woman. We're hoping 2025 is going to be a massive year for Lunnon Metals. There'll be drill results, there'll hopefully be mineral resources, and hopefully some of those mineral resources will make their way through to a fully permitted, modest, but importantly for us, cash-generating gold open pits. So a big year, hopefully for Lunnon shareholders. They've been very patient with us this year with the bad news at the start of the year with nickel, and we hope to reward that patience next year. It's all about gold in 2025.
Yes, I started my career with Ed back in 1996. That was at St Ives. He was my senior geologist. We were working underground at the Victory Defiance gold mine. Best traits, I'd have to say there's actually quite a few that I look up to. It's his dedication, his enthusiasm. He's honest and loyal, probably to a fault. He's also extremely energetic. I don't know where he gets his energy from. It's hard to follow at sometimes. Also, he's quite inspiring. Any dirt? It's actually not that easy to come up with, and I guess I have to be careful since he's my boss. He'll probably kill me for saying this, but he does take great pleasure in coming in on a Monday morning, telling us by how much he's beaten his wife in Scrabble. My great-grandfather Wehrle came to Australia in the late 1800s as a jeweller and watchmaker. He set up several businesses in Sydney, in and around the Sydney CBD, two shops on George Street. Unfortunately, after his death in the early 1930s, my great-grandmother sold the business. But I often wonder, given that his was one of the largest jewellery businesses in Sydney and thus Australia at the time, what life would be like now if it had been handed down through the family. Our gold exploration program is going really well at the moment. Lady Herial prospect is coming along quite nicely, and we have at least half a dozen more analogues very similar to Lady Herial that we're only just turning our mind to. We'll get into that in the new year. Co-funded EIS program, so they'll kick off shortly in the new year as well. It's drilling into a never tested area before, looking for not so deep but also deep blind gold deposits. Who knows what that'll throw up. I think it should be an exciting year.
I wouldn't say stupid, but definitely very quirky. Ed likes to walk down a long hallway humming or sometimes listening to the theme from Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive, and he struts just to pep himself up before his presentation. Ed actually loves to research family history. So something that I didn't even know about myself was that Aaron, our exploration geology manager, and I are related. So our fathers have a mutual cousin, and Ed worked that one out. Well, I'm a shareholder myself, so hopefully lots of really exciting gold results and an increase in the share price.